Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 10 of the HSBC Life Live Well series. I hope you've enjoyed everything that you've learned along the 10 episodes. If you've tuned in, and if you haven't, you can always feel free to go back and watch some of the older episodes. Today we're going to go into a full body flow, and today's theme is being patient. The reason why I say that is because nothing changes overnight, and also patience provides perspective. So that's all I've got for today. We're going to get started and get straight into it. Okay, so today we're going to start off in our downward facing dog. Remember, when you set your downward facing dog, you always find your plank position, and then you push your hips back. You can choose to keep your legs straight, or you can bend your knees a little bit. You can choose to keep your heels up or heels down. The option is up to you. Now from here, today's flow, I'm just going to introduce the first round nice and slow. So throughout the first rep of every exercise, I'll explain what I'm actually looking for within the exercise. But again, always listen to your body, be patient with your body, and also just try to be present. So from here, we're going to slowly shift onto your tiptoes. Keep your bum high, and then roll forward, not into a plank, but into a bear squat. So here you leave your knees just off the ground, you keep your core engaged, then you push back up into your downward facing dog. We're going to come back over. When I say roll forward, it's just about engaging the belly button in towards the spine, holding your core tight, push back, downward facing dog. Just one more like that as you come forward. Hold into your bear squat, engage through the midsection. Stretch out the toes a little bit more, and then push back up. From here, you ground your left foot down. You're going to kick your right leg up towards the sky. Hold your three-legged dog. Just stay in this stretch for a second. Point your toes and lock your right knee out. As you hold that position here, press your chest through a little bit more, and then change legs. Bring that leg back down, swap sides, left leg up, hold at your three-legged dog. Try to square your hips up a little bit more. It's quite easy to get carried away with opening your hips up. Push your chest through and come back down. From here, we're going to kick that right leg back up again. This time, we're going to bring that knee up towards your elbow and hold. Then come back up, three-legged dog. Come back up this time. We're going to quietly touch it and then place your foot outside your hand. Into your Spider-Man or your lizard lunge, you're going to press your knee out, come back in, knee out, come back in one more time, out, and in. Then from there, we're going to step back, three-legged dog. Place that foot down, swap sides, left leg up. Come over, touch the knee to the elbow, hold. Come back up, three-legged dog. And from there, bring that knee back up, and then quietly step the foot to the outside, and slowly, just gently opening your hips up, moving side to side. Always remembering to breathe throughout. If your body does not want to open up yet, you don't force it to open. You take your time with it, and you ease into it. From there, we're going to slowly step back into your three-legged dog. And bring that foot back down. Your right leg comes back up again, hold. Draw that knee up to the outside and step that foot through. This time, we're going to slowly put the weight into this right leg, press through the hands, and step forward into a deep squat. You have the option to stay here or sink all the way down and take your hands off. You shift your weight side to side, bring your hands to a prayer if you can, or you can always leave your hands down and stay here as well. As you stay in this position now, we hold in the middle. Lengthen your spine, squeeze your bum, and open your knees wide. Then from here, we're going to slowly straighten the left arm out and extend the right arm up and stretch that diagonal line and hold. Then from there, come back down, change sides. Stretch the fingertips out, left side up, hold. Turn from the upper rib cage, hold. And back out. From there, we're going to slowly bring our hands down to the floor. Lift your hips up And try and come into a forward fold now. Come back down. Bring your bum up. Back down. And again, if you've got tight hamstrings, stop where you feel your limit. It might be here. You stay with your hips bent then. If you can go further, you start to lengthen. You bring the crown of your head down towards the floor. And in this position, think of driving your tailbone up towards the sky a little further. Come back down. One more time up. And one more time down. From there, we're going to slowly bring our right foot back this time. Step back, hold, back into your Spider-Man lunge. And we go back the other way. So now we're going to bring our left leg back up into your three-legged dog. And bring that foot down. We're going to come back in one more time, right leg up. This time bend the knee, open the hip up. And come back down, change sides. Left leg up, bend the knee, stack the hips, open. Come back down. This time we're going to go further, right leg up, bend the knee, open a little further. If you want to, you can slowly flip over, or you can stay here. If you flip over, you pivot on your left foot to bring your foot behind you. You keep your right hand to your left shoulder and you push your hips up. And then we sit down. As you sit down, you push your hips back up again using your right leg. And then we're going to slowly adjust that left foot. Come back over into your downward facing dog. Then from there again, we're going to push that left leg up to your three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip up. If you want to stay, you stay. Or if you want to go further, you flip on over. You stay on the tiptoes of your left foot. Drop the hip down. Come back up. Once again, prepare to slowly flip back over. Hand comes down. And you step back into your dog however you choose to come back. We're opening up the hips, the hamstrings, the shoulder. You're going through your full body right here. Just walk your feet around, left, right, left, right. Pull your hips up higher, suck your belly in, and push your chest through a little bit more. Then from here, we're going to slowly step our feet just off of the mat now, so a little bit wider. You're going to walk your hands in. And then from there, we're going to reach the left hand to the outside of the right ankle, pull, and then maybe lift up the right hand, add in that rotation. Come back down, swap, change, and up. Come back down, walk forward, and then from there, we're just going to finish off with one last little flow as you flow forward into your plank. Drop your knees if you choose to, or you can leave your knees up as we slowly lower down. Come on up, keep the toes tucked under here, and then just look left and right. Drop your knees down, and then finish off in your child's pose. So when I'm talking about being patient, it really does provide some perspective. When you think about when you have time to think about something, when you have time to actually look at something clearly, when you actually take a step back and you see the bigger picture, you start to gain more awareness of what's happening around you, and maybe you also gather your thoughts better. Maybe you don't let your emotions run high and you act irrationally. Maybe it gives you a sense of purpose. Maybe you see the things that you didn't see before. But also maybe you start to recognize that everything is a process rather than A to B all the time. Across this series, I've been trying to give you little tips and little, I guess, droplets of wisdom, I'd like to say, based off of inspiration that I found off authors, teachers, coaches, whatever it is. But for me, I find inspiration every day. What I'm reading, what I'm listening to. I'm trying to share my knowledge in the field of
mobility, with exercise rehabilitation, and really just teaching you about your body so that you can better understand what you're working with. But if we're not patient with this and we don't recognize that you aren't going to become an acrobat overnight, think about how long it's taken people to get to professional sporting levels, for example. People dedicate their entire lives to it. So we have to recognize that we need to stay dedicated in this in order to be physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy. If we neglect one part of it, it gets thrown out of balance. So if there's anything at all that I would like you to take away from today, it's really just recognizing that things take time. And I think that in a world that we live in where everything is based off of instant gratification, social media, all of that, it's the world that we live in right now. But that doesn't mean we have to be consumed by it. So on that note, slowly coming out of your child's pose, roll on up.
And give yourself a moment just to take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And even with your breath, be patient with it. Fully inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and then exhale for 4 again. When we learn to control the breath, we learn to become present. We stop seeing what's happened in the past and stop looking so far into the future. Thank you guys all for watching the HSBC Life Live Well series. I do have a couple of take-home messages for you guys, and the main thing is, regardless of what you've learned across the series, I think the main thing is just remember to keep moving. I think we live in a lifestyle now, and we have created lifestyles for ourselves that we are a lot more sedentary than we ever have been. We no longer hunt and gather, for example, and we stay seated at desks and play with technology. So if anything, just keep moving, and it's as simple as getting off the MTR stop 1 stop early, walking to work. I understand it's hot at the moment, so you might not want to sweat, but that means pacing around your office space. Get up and get more water. That's also going to help you stay hydrated. Go take more toilet breaks or whatever it is. But also you can sit at your desk, move your joints around. I hope you've understood now that joints actually have very poor blood supply. So if there's anything to remember, just move, okay? So it could just be moving your head around, moving your shoulders around. I think most people tend to do this when they're in pain anyway. But remember, pain is a signal that's telling you that something's not right. That's all I've got today. I hope you've enjoyed the series, and thank you again for watching.